Hey. Let's see. Yeah, we just started Act 3. Or have we been in Act 3? I can't even tell anymore. We're getting close to the end. There are only 3 acts in this game. This is Chapter 16, The Pen and the Sword. Hello, brave adventurer. Welcome back to my tavern. Hello, innkeeper. Wait, no, that wasn't his voice. How are you doing? These past few days have been quite eventful. I'm feeling so... I'm feeling so inspired. My first real adventure was utterly exciting. I haven't stopped residing in my memories since we returned. When I got home, I immediately started writing everything down so I wouldn't forget anything. And it reads just like those adventuring tales and books from my childhood. Yeah, I can live with this voice. Sounds like you had a very good time. I can't wait until I'm a full-time streamer and then I can play this game in like 1 or 2 contiguous playthroughs, and then I wouldn't forget the voices each week and have to make them up again. It's delightful to see you flourishing. Actually, I've been thinking about switching careers. Oh, how come? All these adventures, don't get me wrong, they're new and exciting, but instead of experiencing them for myself, it might be better to tell the tales of those brave heroes and heroines around me. Creating stories is much more enjoyable than facing the dangers of adventuring myself. I'd like to note the others mentioned how much they loved listening to your stories. You're right! I think Theo would enjoy this idea as well. You think so? He seemed very entertained on the trip to Diria. Huh. Perhaps you might be onto something here. On another note, how about a drink to wind down a little? Sure, why not? Any specific wishes? Surprise me something that will keep me focused on my writing. Something to ward off distracting thoughts. Nothing easier than that. You said ward off, does that mean defense? Weird. You know there's an intelligence drink right there. What? Alright, he's getting a steel tonic. Peppers? Like, it doesn't seem like his kind of drink. I mean, if that's what he ordered. Ba-ding. Drink for the upcoming best-selling author. Very sweet of you, thank you very much. Oh, this tape's absolutely delightful. I can already feel the words aligning, impatiently waiting to be written down. Don't mention it. I'm always happy to help. Speaking of which, have you by any chance heard of Melli, the famous detective? As it happens, I have. You get to know quite a lot of people when you run a tavern, you know? Have you seen her recently? Sadly, not in a while, no. I last saw her a week ago, if not 2. How curious that you also know her. Meeting such a well-known detective is a fantastic source of inspiration and exciting stories. I've heard stories about her solving the case of the lost familiars in Zoford. Yeah, she solved the case alongside her trusty assistant. Ah, how inspiring. I'd love to tell her tale someday. Maybe I'll combine it with some of the rumors I've heard about one mysterious place in the southwest of Fizoa. Oh, which one might that be? It's a wizard tower, a magical place full of puzzles and mysteries and magic. I've heard tales of it harboring hundreds of books containing lost and forbidden knowledge. But that's not all. There are treasures of unfathomable value and magical trinkets as well. What an exciting thought for a young detective to stumble upon a place like that. Definitely a story I'd read. Promise to send me a copy, please. Oh, but of course, I'll deliver it to you myself. You know, even if we might be a few years apart, Singer reminded me of my own childhood. Sure, the circumstances are completely different, and I was never allowed to wander off by myself. But she seemed a little lonely, just like me back then. Always looking for my own adventures, though she found them in the real world, while I relied on books. I'm glad she found an assistant to keep her company. The life of a detective can certainly be a lonely one. And you have Theodore by your side. Do you really think he counts as an assistant? That's for you to decide. He definitely doubles as a friend. But I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but, well, Melli has been missing since the Twilight Flood. No! Tell me you're joking! Sadly not, I'm sorry. Oh no! I hope she's alright. She's probably just investigating the cause of the flood. I'm thinking the same. She might be young, but she's really tough. I doubt even a flood this size would be a challenge for her. Then I'll trust your instincts. Kumo, it's great to see you.
I've solved it.
Solved what?
My parent problem. I've solved it.
Ooh. And how did you do that?
It's simple. I'm here to ask you to write up and hand out a quest for me. A quest to find them and to kill them.
Sorry, did you say kill them?
Yes.
Why do you want to kill your parents?
Isn't it obvious?
Can't say it is.
Their death is what sent me on the bleak path that is my life. It led me towards my destiny, my purpose.
Which would be stealing, revenge, edginess?
Darkness.
Of course.
Now that they're back, it's messing up my purpose. My aesthetic purpose.
Right.
So I must take destiny back into my own hands.
Just kill them yourself.
I don't...
You said you want to take destiny into your own hands. It'd be the quickest way to do so.
I can't do that, I think. It must happen, but it can't be me.
Are you sure you want it then?
Yes, I'm certain. So please, a quest. Have it done. Quickly.
As you wish. I'll set it up for you.
Thank you. I shall leave you to it.
Before you go, how about a drink for the road? Maybe one that'll have you talking about something other than killing your parents?
Yes. I shouldn't allow them a warning. So I must be deceitful about my feelings.
I'll see what I can do for you. First we get CRUNK and then we kill our parents. Let's put a little honey flower in there. Boo boo boo. Maybe this will help your heart a little.
It feels nice, really warm, like a hug.
Do you need a hug, Kumo?
I need to go.
Stay safe out there.
Sure.
And Kumo?
Yes.
Have you talked to Fable?
Yesterday, yes. I left to find Melli.
I see. Good luck with your parents.
I don't need luck. I need vengeance.
Does he need help? Wait, you want to kill his parents? Sorry, do you want to help them kill their parents? Pardon me? No, of course not. I meant psychological help. They don't look like they're doing too well, if I might say. He's always quite broody and mysterious, but their parents being alive really threw him off track. You wouldn't think that's a bad thing, really? And now they want to kill them just because it doesn't fit the backstory they came up with? This is the possibility for a happy ending to an otherwise dark story. Please don't tell me you're actually going to set up a quest to assassinate them. I'm but a mere innkeeper to this tavern. I'm just following Kumo's wishes. I would have expected you to have a little more backbone, or moral standards, so to speak. You were sure about Melina's well-being and even calmed me down. Can't believe you'd offer such a violent solution. You heard him. He can't even bring himself to kill them with his own hands. And that's exactly why there's still hope. Wait, I don't think I understand. Kumo won't take on the quest by himself. So there'll be someone else that can think of an alternative methods of confronting them. That sounds like a really questionable plan, if I may say so. It'll work out, I'm sure of it. Most likely, it won't be a very difficult quest, especially not if you know your way with words. As a nobleman like you would, for example? Oh! Well, I'm certain this isn't the quest for me, even though I could probably do it. What if the situation actually escalates into violence? I wouldn't know what to do. No pressure, just wanted to make an offer. Do you want a different quest then? Weren't you listening? I don't think I want to be an adventurer anymore. Hearing Kumo just now amplified my doubts. I never want to have to kill anyone ever again. Being a murderer is not how I envisioned my life to be. Of course not. But I also don't know what direction my life is headed from now on. My heart is still so full of excitement after my last adventure. This might only be a tale, but there is this place of infinite knowledge. Oh, are you by any chance talking about the subterranean caves on the plane of Ur? I've read so many stories about them. A hidden yet wondrous place. Though I really doubt a guy immoral like me could ever walk there. But I've heard you can get through the Twilight Chasm. Innkeeper, do you think that's true? That there's a portal to Ur somewhere in the Twilight Chasm? Yeah, well, maybe. This world is so full of wonders, after all. And since the Twilight Realm arose from Ur's dreams, I say it isn't completely unlikely. Just thinking about the caves makes my heart beat faster and my fingertips itch. Maybe I should write a little story about them. Time to write down some key words, or I might lose my ideas. You know, I don't think you need Ur to lead you. Your heart already knows what it wants to do. Huh? Do you really think so? Yeah, it's quite obvious, actually. How about you go write down those keywords now? This might already be an upcoming bestseller. Oh, you really are a sweet talker, aren't you? Thank you for your advice. Goodbye, innkeeper. Until next time, Archie. Good evening, Carolyn. Evening. Has boredom already caught up with you again? It's always on my trail. Guessing this quest is still free. Not for much longer, it seems. Haven't had enough of the undead yet. I got practice with them now. Might as well make some use of it. Fair enough. I thought you'd be looking for Melli instead. Can't say I'm worried about the little gal. But Fable is already on it. I trust him. And I trust Melli too. To come back, I mean. She promised me we'd see each other again soon, and I'm learning to believe in people's words. You should too. I do, but trust is a scary thing. Everything's scary if Fable's to be believed. Might as well pick up the fun horrors, I missed, accidentally double-clicked. Sorry. Like the undead? Exactly. I also gotta check up on my cousin. Those undead snails are sounding a lot more concerning right now. At least they're slower than regular undead. Very common. Thanks. Want to take Archie along again? He might be the calming presence you're seeking. Under no circumstances. No. But if you get bored, he's got very good stories to tell. Shut up. How will we talk about what drink you want then? Well, dearie me, my dearest acquaintances. Innkeeper, Dame Carolyn, you both look radiant today. What are we radiating? I shan't say as it would be too rude. How polite of you. How are you doing, Scully? Just wonderful. Yesterday I had the most delightful tea party with Sir Alphonse and Lady Frostgrip. Alphonse and I were able to learn so much about the times we'd missed, thanks to the young blacksmith prodigy. One of those. This world is truly exciting and a beautiful one. And by tomorrow, the vampire will have forgotten all about it. But that merely means we'll get to remember again. How marvelous. The pursuit of learning is a wonder in and of itself. Speaking of learning, if you'd allow me, I'd like to learn how you're doing on this fine day of ours, Dame Carolyn. You do look a little spent, and I would hate to be intruding on your space. Just exhausted by all these people and their constant talking. You're good, though. Ain't your fault. Ah, I understand the social aspects of life can be exhausting as they come with so many rules and obstacles one must traverse. But throughout this overwhelming obstacle course of mortal interactions, we can find many magnificent treasures, and all of them make these efforts worthwhile. Like quests. I was thinking about friends, but quests too. Are you heading out on one? Yeah. What's its cause? An unusual amount of undead creatures are haunting Fazoa lately. Especially near the Pale Woods. Carolyn's gonna go check on that. An undead gathering in the Pale Woods? But why so? Is there a convention, perhaps? Nah, it sounds more like the violent type of crowd. Unfortunate. It does seem to be that this sentiment is common among my compatriots. Sense and sensibilities are often lost when you are ripped from the afterlife without your soul attached to your body. You don't have a soul? You got a lot of personality for that to be true. That is very kind of you to say, but I'm a mere fragment of my former self. Sounds like an opportunity to find a new self. What a sweet promise. Still, it is strange to have everything you once were forgotten. How can you be forgotten when you're here? We will remember you as you are now, as I'm sure people did for your former self. I hope I shall grow up into a pleasant memory then, as well as a pleasant presence. You already are. That makes my non-present soul very happy to hear. Dame Carolyn, would you mind me tagging along on your quest? Sounds like a haven of fascinating research, and I have not been able to indulge that pastime for quite a long while. Sure, come along. Skeletons should be great help in wiping out a bunch of the undead. Wiping out? By no means should that be our approach. We should study them, or better yet, strike up a civilized conversation. With enough charisma, I'm sure we can remind them of their mortal consciences. Don't be ridiculous. They'll rip us apart. We can simply ask the innkeeper for some additional defense, in case they need some initial convincing. I could offer you some frost armor to go along with it. A few frozen pine cones here and there. You'll have more of a buffer if your words don't take hold. Excellent idea. Or we can just fight them, smashing their bones together until they stop moving. No offense, Scully. None taken, though I believe the cleverer approach would be to rely on speed. Unwakened undead are rather slow. We should embrace this possible advantage. Dexterity then, and defense. You're on the right track with that one. May I suggest adding some of Morganite Lotus Flower to this combination? Much like citrine, it'll bless your weapon strikes and lend you the power of the great dragons. The undead are incredibly vulnerable to holy attacks. Indeed we are. The power of the dragons is a difficult one to harness. I'm impressed by your capabilities, innkeeper. I think your delight should be aimed towards the magical ingredients. To dilute them in such a way is quite a skill in itself, as would choosing our approach to this. We should leave it up to them, correct? Yeah, you figure it out, innkeep. Some additional defense is a given. But what should we focus on, charisma or dexterity? And don't forget those wondrous infusions of yours. I would never. What do we do? Okay, we get defense either way. I feel like charisma is the definite right answer. But I kind of don't like it. Like, you just can't count on the undead to be friendly, and I'd hate for them to die. The only thing I can do, dexterity-wise, is the swift strike. Okay, so... and a little lotus flower? Yeah. Yeah. Alright. Boop. I've already got the defense. Put in a little brain juice. Then we crank up the dex. Big dex energy. I think it'd be hard to reason with creatures that don't have brains. That's what I was thinking. I trust in your fighting skills, Carolyn, and I know Scully will make for great support. Great. Good to see you found some common sense back there. Scully, let's go slay some undead. At your service, madam. Let us indulge in some violence. Enjoy your travels, your conversations, and your battles. Oof, I've got chunks of a quest, but it all looks like a mess. Okay, let's do the pink one. Our rogue's parents were washed ashore. Primordial Sea. Yep. 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 Primordial Sea has flooded the Twilight Chasm and has ultimately reached Zoa. Maybe it washed up something interesting. Our rogue's parents were washed ashore by the Twilight Flood, once believed to be dead. The liars seem to have were last seen in Borkum. The only solution to your parents faking your death is to hire a hitman. Clearly. Fingers crossed, this will pass through youth protection. Yes, yeah, yep. For Batman. If Batman's parents turned out to be alive, you gotta kill him. This one looks burnt. This one looks burnt. There's like no other that really feels burnt. Maybe this one? This one. Okay, so these three all have flowers on the top. Got it. It bothers me that they're the kind of same color. Like, but I see now. You got ghosts down here, you got flame burns here. It's all depends on the same stationery. Missing Wizard of Morlia has always enjoyed some puzzles, traps, and other means of trickery. Never mind. The wizard from the Magocracy has abandoned his tower. The wizard's location is unknown. He seems to be gone for good. Allegedly, the wizard tower is full of loot, magical junk, and banned scrolls. A hoard of any wizard could be proud of if he was still there. The missing wizard has always enjoyed some puzzles, traps, and other means of trickery. There we go. Mission magically possible. That's a cool tower. I try not to read the actual quest description because it's basically what's in the notes. And I don't want to bore you.